Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Felsbrunn Revisited. It is 7:04 in the morning, and you know what? It's harvest time. But before that, this video is brought to you by Doughboy2913. Thank you for being a farm baron. The Sunday. All right, that's it. I'm done being over dramatic. That was fun while it lasted. But, yeah, we're done. We're done! So, yes, it is harvest day. Our oats are ready to harvest. Field 19's oats are ready to harvest. We only have $130,000. We can't buy the other field. Ah, woe's me. So, now we own a harvester. 25 grand left in the bank. We are slowly ticking our way up to where we have a full complement of machinery. And soon all of our profits will be able to go towards acquiring more land. Our horses are coming along quite swimmingly. Dare I say that? I believe, in fact, the horses are worth about double, if not a little more, than what we paid. Let's go ahead and take a look. 12,875 buckaroos each. 25% on the maximum profit margin of those horses. So it won't take us too terrible long till we'll be able to cash them in and seriously expand our operation. Now, one thing I did notice, and that is that they don't go through the food that much, right? We maxed out their hay, water, and straw when we planted our other crop, and now they've barely used any of that. I've got half a mind that I probably won't have to put any product in their troughs until they are at full value. If I'm remembering right, it might be that base game, you have 10 days worth of food. And if horses reach their maximum profit at 10 days, then we only need to fill our trough up once per cycle. So I don't have to put oats back in there. I can put whatever I want back in there, which is interesting, to say the least. So we can put something else in there. Although a grain crop gives us straw, so that gives us some additional profit. So we've got that going for us. So I might put in barley next. I kind of like barley. Barley pays out pretty good. You know, if you look at the general prices here, barley pays out more typically than wheat. Although the grain mill here, that's a little aberration. And oats pays out pretty good, but oats doesn't yield as much as barley does. Oh, back up the truck, Chuck. There we go. So yeah, I think I might put in barley this time around. We'll still collect the wheat straw, or the barley straw, off of the harvest. That way we'll get a couple thousand extra dollars. But we don't need to constantly keep our oats around in order to make sure that we have enough food for our horses. I do want to get that contract, though, on Field 19. I definitely want to get that contract. So I can just get some more money off of it, right? Yeah, this is our day today, harvesting our oats. selling our oats, collecting our straw, and then, well, turning the field around in order to do it all over again, because that is in essence farm sim without seasons. It gets repetitive. It gets repetitive fast. And if you're a casual player, that's not that big of a deal. If you're a regular player, routine player, you play consistently, then it becomes a bit more of a bigger deal because it just becomes really repetitive. Plant, give it a day or two, harvest. Plant, give it a day or two, harvest. Which is fine. Now, what's exciting is, of course, seasonal cycles coming to FS22 base game. So, if we don't want to play the repetitiveness of no seasons, then we don't have to, because we can turn the seasonal cycles on and do it that way. Although I have to say, the Geo, if they're calling it that, maybe we just call it the plant and harvest schedule. The crop schedule in FS22 is a bit different than what I would expect. Even for what we saw on Elm Creek, an American map. It had us planting our cereals in the fall and harvesting them in the summer, which is okay. But we also will have people that will plant their cereals in the spring and harvest them in the summer, because the crop will catch up pretty quick there in the spring. And it also means, well, when do you start your save game? Does your save game start in spring like it does in FS19 and FS17 seasons, where all your save games start in spring? If you wanted to start at a different time frame, you kind of have to fudge the save game or fast forward through a whole bunch of time. Or do maybe you start your save game at a different period of time? Maybe you start your save game in summer. I don't know. That's a big question. That's a big question I hope we get answered to before the game, gets released. Yeah, I know that the seasonal cycles are months now, right? So March is early spring, April is mid-spring, May is late spring, and so forth. Early winter is December, midwinter is January, and late winter is February. Okay, so do we start every save game in March? And if so, we can't plant our cereal until autumn of our first year, which means we can't harvest our first cereal until summer of the second year. So, depending on your animals, you might not be able to use, or you may not be able to feed your animals until the second year of your playthrough. So those are some pretty interesting questions. I'm going to try to get answers from Giants. We'll see what they say. Right? We'll see what they say. we're about, what, a little more than a third of the way through the field. Nearly full on our little harvester here. I think this thing only holds 4,500 liters. It's a nice small little harvester. I don't know if we're going to see this in FS22 or not. I don't recall seeing too much of this brand, the Rostel Mash brand. I don't recall seeing too much of this brand showing up in the vehicles and equipment list on the Giants website. Just check field 19. Field 19 still not showing up. All right, well, let me get this field finished off. Be right back. So did you all realize that this little harvester has a really cool feature that lots of other harvesters don't have, and that is on this little side panel, we can see the capacity of the grain bin ticking up there. 2,400, 2,450, 2,460, 70, etc. So a nice little feature of this little harvester. And back here, we don't really see it because it's putting out straw right now, but it's got some pretty cool animations on the back. There it is. Yeah, overall, I think probably this is one of those pieces of machinery that is least underappreciated. That's what I mean to say. Underappreciated simply because it's smaller, and I think a lot of people just immediately fly right past it onto the bigger stuff. But yeah, really, some of the details on this stuff really should be appreciated, right? So there we go. Just park this thing over here out of the way. Eventually we'll be able to afford, you know, sheds to that's what I want to do. Eventually we'll be able to store sheds to put our stuff in. All right. Since we don't need oats so much for our horses because, well, they're not going through the food too terribly quick. Let's see, where can we get rid of our oats? Port Southwest. Let's go ahead and flag that. I think that's over here. To the south. Let's just check prices screen here. Port Southwest. Where's that at? Did I read it wrong? Port Southeast. Okay. I read it wrong. My bad. So 11,000 liters off of that little field. Not too terrible bad. I think if we did barley, we would probably get maybe 2 trailers, a trailer and a half. We'll just have to see next time we do barley. We'll see here. And look at that, we're almost down to a half of a fuel tank of gas or diesel. 6.7 hours on this tractor here. Of course, we had our Kloss tractor before this. So let's see what we get for our oats. And the answer to the survey is... Oops. Not what I wanted to do. Suspense is killing me here. $5,900 for a load of oats. Good thing I hit the wrong button because, well, it just took way too long to unload that trailer. All right, let's go sell that straw, add to our bank account a little bit. We should be able to get 3 or 4 grand off of our straw. Now, I just had a thought. I could put soybeans in the field. And since we've playing with precision farming, because it was listed as a DLC on the Giants website, soybeans don't need fertilizer. I could save money by not putting fertilizer on the field and just putting soybeans in and basically cycling soybeans around. I mean, fertilizer is a pretty expensive commodity. $877 per load of straw. So, yeah. I was thinking about, well, you know, I could put sunflowers in. Don't have the right header for that. I could put canola in. I don't get the straw, but canola, you know, pays out pretty good. And then I thought I could put soybeans in. Soybeans don't need fertilizer, so just put them in, they're done. And I thought, wow. I could save money every harvest cycle by just doing soybeans because they don't need nitrogen. That is like a eureka moment right there. So, boys and girls, that's what we're doing. We're flipping this field and we're going to put soybeans in it. But we're also going to need to put lime in because, well, the field is coming up bad all over the place. far as lime goes. So we need to put lime in. So we're re-lime the field. But we won't have to spend money on fertilizer because we're going to put soybeans in, because we don't need to constantly put oats in to keep oats and straw for our horses. So I had a little bit of a bonus because I went ahead and used all the straw that I had in the forage wagon from the previous harvest that I kept around because I thought I was going to need it. So yeah, additional 800 or so, 800 bucks in the end, because wasn't a full load. It was a pretty good load. And here we go. Let's see, what is our total net gain here? It's gonna be $9,300 some dollars overall for our harvest income today. Looks like we lost a little bit of money with our straw, selling a bunch of loads at once, but at any rate, $33,899. Now we need to go grab our fertilizer spreader and see how many loads of lime it takes to lime up our field, just to flip it over. And this time, like I said, I got smart. We're going to put soybeans in it so we don't have to fertilize. And I think that'll be the cheapest way we can flip these fields, or flip this field until we own more than one field, is to simply put soybeans in it so we don't have to spend money on fertilizer. And then every, I don't know, 4 or 5 harvests, 3 harvests, whatever, we'll put lime on it. And then at some point we'll need to put oats in, as we are getting close to the point in time where our I'd unload. There we go. At some point we'll put oats back in it as we are approaching time to sell those horses and buy a new batch, because at that point our food will be down. So meet you back here in a little bit. So it was $1,600 for a load of lime, and well, based on the amount of lime that we're going through here, I don't think we're going to need to get any more than a load. I think we're going to have extra. Just got a few more passes and we're only down 30-some%. Of course, you know, if we ever get around to soil sampling that area that we expanded the field on, we'll be able to use even less lime, because at this point, when we get over that part of the field, it just dumps a massive amount of lime down because it doesn't know how much lime to actually apply. Whereas you can see that we're applying fairly sparing amounts over, you know, the rest of the field. And now look at that unknown value. It's just dumping massive amounts down. So yeah, $1,600, basically 2 loads of straw. And I think we sold 4 loads of straw. So overall, the straw basically has paid for our lime application and then some. So not too terrible bad. And of course, with FS19, you saw we unloaded fertilizer, and now we can unload the lime out of this thing. That's new. That was new in FS19. Want to make sure we bring that up and let you know that if you didn't realize that, if you're new maybe to Farm Sim, the whole idea of being able to unload is new in FS19. Before, you couldn't unload your stuff. So, you know, if you had a load of fertilizer in this spreader and we wanted to put lime in it, you had to, well, you were stuck. You had to use it up. Or have multiples and basically have a fertilizer spreader that always had fertilizer in it and a lime spreader that always had lime in it. So we're going to switch this over to soybeans. Soybeans. And we're going to put beans back in. Because you know what? It's the cheapest crop at this point. Because they don't require fertilizer. I feel, quite frankly, I feel like a little bit of a eureka moment here thinking about that, because, you know, up to this point, I didn't really think about it in that way. I kind of thought about it in ways of, well, if I do a cereal, then I can sell the straw and get some extra money. But this way, I'm just going through the seed cost and lime, and I can flip this many times around on, what was that, half a load of lime, basically. So $800 a lime every 4 harvests or so. Because, let's see here. Look, perfect nitrogen, perfect lime, and we're going to be good for a few harvests of lime before we need to re-lime it, you know? So yeah, really, dare I say, proud of myself for coming up with that idea. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. And welcome to the story of my life. Now that we have horses, of course, daily routine is to ride each one of them for approximately 5 minutes. So 20 minutes out of my day is riding these immaculate animals off into the sunset. And with that, we are literally going to be riding off into the sunset as I bid you all a farewell for another fine week of Felsbrunn Revisited videos. Hope you all are indeed enjoying the series and enjoying your own playthrough, be it on Felsbrunn or Ravenport, if you have decided to pick up this challenge, if you will, as I mentioned in the other video. The way I've looked at it, we actually have 5 challenges here. No mods, no loan, and a few more, which I'm completely blanking on at the moment. At any rate, till next time, happy horse riding.